Hello everyone, this is Aloy Merch, and in this video I'll present to you one more project that I worked on, actually different phases. 3 times I was addressing this project. It was evolving. I think at the beginning of the branding, for example, we did the branding with this client for Catalyzed Couples, maybe around 5 years ago, something around that. And then somewhere 3, maybe 2 years ago, I did the Coming Soon website quickly. And then I think it was a year or two ago, maybe 2025, 2024, we did this website. And it's interesting. So time goes on. So some branding will be evolving. So you will notice it was more brighter in the beginning, but then it will become this dark tone. And should my client would like to continue, I would recommend to go back to the brand identity guidelines and take the second edition and update that to the new look and feel based on the website that you see here. It's beautiful. It's kind of gradient effect and dark tone with glowing effects and glassy look and feel. It's all about Catalyzed Couples. The point is this client is serving couples to build their relationship, healthy relationship to continue for the whole life. And they defining kind of love language, these kind of things, and what they have: love language, communication style, motivation style. Really beautiful. They do this as behind their back. They are a couple themselves. They do this kind of, they evolved, they addressed this topic for a long time. They studied and they served. They have testimonials. And what they did, they just accumulated everything and want to do it kind of refined, rich, distilled version. And the idea is that there'll be quiz, there'll be opportunity for clients to open their account and purchase the product that will be automated. So the idea is to automate the process. And so client can, for example, for users will be able to go for the member stack. Member stack, by the way, is a third party that really well complementary to the Webflow coding that I'm using platform. So it looks seamless on brand. So people can open their account. Those who purchase the product, they can find the product. They can read about it. They can initiate the course, and the Zapier or Makes should be automating the whole process for confirmation, non-confirmation, payment, Stripe, and all these things. And even SMS, I don't remember which platform I offered to my client. There's another third party that was automating SMS, so you can connect that SMS messaging to the to this either Zapier or Makes. I think Makes it's called. I don't remember. The idea is to automate the whole thing. The point is when they purchase, they go for the program that is involving the SMS messages to the couple, and they can choose how to go about it. That's the whole idea. So making it easy for them. So with this client, again, even though we started like 5 years ago building the branding, right? Then we did the Coming Soon website. Then we did this website. It still was on hold by my client in 2025, I think it was. It's on hold. So we didn't finish the automation. Automation is supposed to continue. And some copy, some testimonials, some video materials. It was probably clear for client that it actually takes more responsibilities and commitment on their side, that it was smart to put it on hold and stop and continue later. So I'll be expecting from them to be back to continue to automate, to build the whole thing. It'll be interesting, but I already built the quiz. We have the sign-in, and it's all prepared before the automation, which will be interesting to build. And it's just challenging. It makes sense. And I will be presenting to you right now the whole thing. So from branding to the code, let's go right away. 5 years or so ago, this was the inspiration of the flower, sacred flower. Right, client shared with me. We had a therapy, business and branding therapy, I call it. For the questions we run through, I understand about business goals, competitive marketplace, user needs, about what they like, what they don't like, and generally everything that I need to know in order to make my research and make the right solutions and fitness to their market and business and user. So it was a kind of cover, and we'll go to the beginning. So there'll be a play on my side with a different version. So I'm playing with it flower, quickly white and this bronze effect on my mind. And we just have this flower play. Different versions of just small, subtle details, removing and adding elements, and our version will be the one that we have selected. Then we need to bring some logotype and Catalyzed Couples name, and that was the idea, just to put the under. It's quite massive logo. It's okay, sometimes that's done, but still we need some differentiation, some standing alone. So there'll be play with like circles, and I like the symmetry and radial kind of sacred geometry. So Catalyzed Couples becomes like this. Then, different versions in my mind. This is a really good point because two rings together is like couples. And then I'm playing with something like that. And it'll be interesting to notice. I like this, always happens with me. I like to merge things. You can see D and C, and I start to notice actually you could remove this line and make it looking alike. So that X will become D and C. You will see like this is the D element, and the C will be like this. So you can either combine them, or I'll be playing with the symmetry like this, or I mirror the D to make it C, or mirror C to make it D. So one or another can be version, and then I'm playing with kind of merging them to the circle. I kid you not, again, every brand, every project, everything that I create, continuing further successfully in a market, we can create amazing, different responsiveness, different guidelines, working with animations, working with 3Ds, working with websites, with footages, with photography. All depends on entrepreneurship tone to make it well planned strategically and executed accordingly in a time span, and including right people to fulfill these things, giving space to create amazing stuff that can create amazing products. That's what I see, that only those survive for long run who actually know how to do entrepreneurship from the beginning. I'm not saying specifically about this project. I'm telling you from 9 years of expertise that a lot of startups die 90%. I like to say that. And that's what we usually witness, that many projects don't see light. And sometimes when you see projects that still survive, you hope and you pray and you believe that they will be successful. And that in my case, as a designer, as a professional, more than designer, I am to offer and support them to make it better. So, I just witnessing sometimes that great stuff can be continuously evolved in responsiveness. Then it's different versions. You can see we have different variations, and I keep playing. And this became kind of a new logo as a clean, another version, but with a flower. Eventually, we'll bring flower back. And really important thing, there's a point people need to read. So it's Catalyzed Couples. No, it doesn't work, right? So we need to scale it down to make it clear. It's really important. Here is like, it's effective, it's calling attention, but readability must not suffer. So you must find balance between readability and effect. So flower back and this kind of process. This is the beginning, and then we'll be registering the logo. So you can see color codes. You can even see that this box is exactly my background of my canvas that I use for my Figma. Since this project, I'm using this color. That is why it's maybe 5 or 6 years ago, branding specifically. So this is the variations of those logos. Even you can see triangle downside, actually quite beautiful, but it'll be upside. And that will what we'll be going with. So we have logo, we have style approved, and I'll be building the brand guidelines. And there'll be one version first. I'll not be showing it. I'll be showing the last version. So we'll go for the whole thing shortly. You can see that X becomes the main Catalyzed Couples and different variations. Just X standing by itself. In the future, you can just show this X and it'll be pretty clear there's Catalyzed Couples, but they need, you see future logo, they need to get to that point. They're already kind of predicting. Flower will be something, and this name that communicates in the beginning. Fonts, colors, I'm not going to go into the depth. I did something unusual back in times. I did such a detailed presentation of what color code or gradient we apply to logo. These days, I don't really do that because assets speak for themselves, as well as color code provision. But I must say, this kind of detail really makes sure that it is respected. If someone have questions, they could come here. To be honest, recently I was building a report for one project. I might be showing it, not sure, probably not, but Zeka. What I witnessed that they're branding, and I'm offering them to improve the branding guidelines, because if you don't do these work right, a lot of questions and back and forth will happen, and it will waste time unnecessarily, everyone who's involved. Because, for example, they can be missing color code. For example, gradient. You must go and give gradient color. If it's used in logo type, it's important. Because if not, then they can recreate it falsely. And if you didn't have codes for them, it's just wasting time, and then you will become not consistent. So be aware, of course. But this is too detailed, I would say. I would not, these days I don't go that far. I just have a color code of gradient, and I'm just indicating in text that this is this color code used. And assets themselves, PNGs, SVGs, they are already with a color version, black and white, so they just take color, it's already used. So application logo, primary logo on different backgrounds and colors. And here you go, this is without a rectangle version. Then we'll have this secondary. And what else we have? I think we have third version. Yeah, without flour. And fourth, it's too much. I must say, I would not do that. Actually, the clever and right way is to uh, make us decide and say, okay, if we need to get rid of one, which one that will be. I think that's the better because. But I gave all of the versions for them to play with. But these days, I would kind of refine and make sure to make a right decision. So because you can apply them in different versions, right? For some of them good for business cards, some of them good for websites, some of them must be compact, some of them can be vertical. So it depends where you use them. So you can indicate where to use which, and there's a future variation. Also, the sizing. These days, I don't really invest my time into showing sizing. You can do that. It's also really good detail to make sure that people follow and not make mistakes. But again, from my perspective, in text, I'm indicating that it must be respected the size, and I'm more focused on clear space and assets. I deliver assets, so they must, of course, not to be distorted. So clear space is, I think, one of the important things. And I give all my assets always to my clients, specifically only with clear space. I don't give them without clear space because I don't want them to present it falsely. I want them to present them professional, trustworthy look and feel and fitness. That's one of the keys that I value. Markings. And I always like to see, once I get to the point in brand identity guidelines, when we set in stone everything, once we're done with fonts, and I did better brand identity guidelines, this kind of quicker, shorter, smaller, less valuable, less commitment. But when I build bigger, we have great definition of fonts, typography, typefaces, right? Of colors, of imagery and so on. Once we come to photography, I like to apply font and a logo, but here it really looks well. You can see how it can look like on physical materials, on printing materials, on digital look and feel. You can see this kind of idea for the future approach in elder people for the couple can be presented to show this young focused target and this older and the future, and the look and feel of future logo brand is also applied here. Really beautiful also to present it this way. Really beautiful page on the magazine could be. It's amazing. You can even advertise them this way. So again, it all depends how entrepreneurship marketing is well established from the side of the business, and they can really do amazing stuff when you present these kind of results. So that is the brand guidelines. Let's go further. We have assets, media. Okay, let's go to the sitemap. So we'll go to the website, trying to get us to this point. And sitemap, again, I like to say, I will be showing to you when I do apps, when I do digital products like SaaS, their sitemaps and information architecture is massive and really complex. With websites, it can get complex as well when they already exist in the market. But those who are startups and landing pages degree, they don't really have that complexity in sitemaps. So here we have basic landing page. Users can go to my account, which is the member stack eventually, but they need to have sign in, login, and forgot password. Solution or products. This is the product page that is kind of duplicate from the section of home. They will have about us. They have contact us. They have products. They have free products for now that will take them through the quiz in order to create account or sign in or not contact, but create account or log in or sign in and with the results of quiz. So that was the idea. And then automation should go to their account. They purchase the process with Spline. And they go for Zapier or Makes. They go for the process of automation, and on member stack they will have their program purchased. That will give them the kind of description and everything they should know, where they can initiate the product, and then the automation will be initiated, SMS involved into that automation, and they'll be receiving messages as a couple to fulfill based on what they have what they chose. As I mentioned, we didn't get to that point yet. Client needed to put this project on hold due to their own perhaps challenges. So I'm expecting we'll be back. And also, I would be happy to continue updating the brand identity guidelines and playing with other different collaterals if possible. So hopefully, they have a right place in their entrepreneurship approach, and we hopefully see them soon again on my account and presenting more results. Anyways, let's go on. But I predicted, so that's the point about the automation. I demonstrated my responsibility to show what to expect for them, monthly subscription, what third parties to choose in order to make all the automation. That was presented already and evaluated in the proposal that was agreed. So, and that's the third phase of the project, which we haven't arrived yet, but this is the part where we stopped. And also testimonials content you will see it will be missing. So but I'm happy to present the results whatsoever so far. So, and terms and conditions, privacy policy, self-explanatory. I like to have some references Jordan Peterson Academy was referenced. Another competitor that I learned about became another reference. Really important for you as a branding specialist when you build brand identity or websites. It's important to look into the competitive marketplace and evaluate competitors, what they do well, use that. What they do poorly, avoid that. So that's how you can win. And also, this is the coming soon actually page that we really quickly, not really coming soon, but a summary, really short kind of version of the website, somewhere in between we built maybe 2 or 3 years ago. What was the year? 2020, right? Like 4 years ago. So we built this one also quickly. This is how it looked like without deep commitment into this. So, and then we go to the wireframes. So wireframes, as always, I keep my references here of Jordan Peterson Academy, some competitor academy, a competitor example, and some references that I like for the sales. I use them in order to make sure I'm weaving the website correctly. I do have my questions. I like to address always pain, gain, why we're different. I like to demonstrate trustworthiness through testimonials and case studies. And I like to talk to them, demonstrate what value there is, and gradually taking them from, of course, CTA to go and take the quiz in their case and FAQs if they need to. So I'm weaving that wireframes first phase quickly, just with the sections, naming and sequence in homepage and product and so on. And then I'm gonna do the wireframe second version where I go more in detail. You will already see that this looks like this, and you'll see that's, again, I don't want to repeat it all too much, but I'll surely tell you wireframes is important because one of the reasons is that we want to judge this objectively. We address the navigation, the flow, the organization, the content strategy and copy, all these things. And then we need to approve, because if we will do visuals right away, we can trap ourselves, and also we can do false judgment, subjective judgment based on visuals rather than the essential structure as the wireframes, as the skeleton. And then I love this phase when we apply visuals to the wireframes of the branding and when things comes together. So anyways, shortly, landing page, giving the courses, some pain, why the problem that could be, some kind of video idea. Again, video is not ready yet. That's something to pay attention to. Testimonials, steps how to proceed, why choose us, and why do this, what to expect, what's the value there, free key kind of things that they stand for. That was from the old website, so we need to bring them here as well. And the basics, FAQs, will not be using FAQs, but I had it. If they have a question, contact them. Some things will not be there. And of course, our courses, they're repetitive, same as landing page. Then we have the course itself, so there'll be actually free courses repeating the same structure, just content will change. And you'll see in the visuals, you'll see on a coding, I will not be giving you the whole thing about us. Also beliefs, values, contact us. And then here I'm thinking about automation flow of the quiz, of the course selection, of the purchase, getting them to the member stack where people can sign in, purchase. So here I have just structure, and I'll be coding the proper flow. And we have visuals neatly collected in one place. You can see how everything comes together. I love this process. And we have this glowing darker tone than the white tone. And this is how it looks like. So we'll land it here. There could be video in the background and play the video, supposed to be, but we're not really having it here. And we have free courses to choose from. You can see how similar, how close that result is. That should fit here, but it's okay. You cannot guess the responsiveness all the time. I can make shorter, actually have shorter lines here, but here's bigger, and you gradually play, and you see, the bigger space gives the bigger differentiation between them. So that's what I went with. But anyways, we're so close to the target, and for the, it's challenges, because when you do glow effects and everything like that, or bigger imagery, like for example, this photography, I would love to have bigger, much better resolution to make it more quality, but it's okay. This is what we had, so that's what we do. And there's also process, there's opportunity to get the photo maybe better quality, talk with the client and so on, if they can get it. And so different process. I always see space to improve, but again, you must define balance between quick load and quality. So that's always the challenge. You must not sacrifice a great quality and make it really slow load. You must find the balance. So, okay. And the design I will be showing you in a second. The coding, I will not be showing you the visuals. No point, because we'll be running with you through. But the point is, we have homepage, we have courses, and we have about us. One thing I want to point out, I like to point out about this, if you check Xomero website, in this one, they have this, I always like to give a reference for the photo of showing who is behind the project, and for them to do the photography in this direction. And not everyone will follow this. And I understand there can be a subjective approach. Some people don't like to do photo sessions. Some people have a different tone of seeing themselves. And my responsibility is to give this observation recommendation. And it's my client's choice should they want to follow this. But I'm giving the direction to keep the consistency, look and feel, and professional presentation of themselves. And it's their choice. So I like in my version to keep the example that I'm showing. This is not them. This is the whole placeholder. And they will apply the photo. Once we're ready, we'll apply the photo. But I'll be showing you the placeholder. So yeah, there'll be about us. You'll see it, contact us, and free courses. Here you go. Free programs that they can choose. Basically the same, just the content changes and the free value changes you will see. And also I like to say that it's a relative challenge to achieve on all responsive devices like Mac, massive screen, then laptop, then iPad, portrait, landscape, and then the landscape phone that is rarely used, but still there's a breaking point to pass for this. And then the portrait and phone, and then the iPhone SE, the smaller size. It's quite an art and science, so to say, to build it professionally, to look everywhere exactly as we want it to. And you achieve, it's okay. That's what I want to say. I will be actually remaking the Nevera Remark and Polestar presentations of websites that I want to evaluate because I like what they do. And even in the professionals and high-level degrees of websites, and you will witness that there will be a sacrifice, either on a phone or on a tapping version or on a clicking version. There'll be a relative sacrifice. And one of those versions will be most respected or presented better than the other. It's just because you cannot please everything. It doesn't mean that they're poorly done. In my case, also, this is really well done and mobile and everything. It's just not that high level experience that we're targeting to. And when we target the high experience, it's either going to be the bigger screen or smaller screen. It depends where you're going to start, but all of them just one of them will stand out stronger for the experience. And that's what's always the challenge. But again, I like to say that also in future, augmented reality, virtual reality will allow us to remove the canvas limitations that we have in these resolutions. And it'll be beautiful to see that we are limitless, so to say. But I don't think maybe 5 or 10 years, the augmented reality will become normal in market. But there's just wild guess that I have. So I like to point that as well. I also like to say that you see that I'm 9 years in experience into this. I am coding this project. So when I'm already that far and I'm coding myself, I'm not really spending that much time to show how the mobile phone will look like or different sizes will look like. If you check my previous projects, specifically two, I show how I do that. That will be Karpato's Dream and Core Integrated Health. Those two projects, if you see how I design, even though I will be coding Core Integrative Health, I still presented the responsiveness because it was like maybe 5 or 4 years ago. I was still doing that. And I do recommend juniors or those who are still in 5, or maybe it depends how quick you move. When you go through, I encourage and I do want you as a designers to make sure that you're building design in responsiveness to the smaller screen, to make sure to educate yourself, to have that intuition. And I do encourage every designer to learn a little bit how to code in respect to the visual development, like Webflow, for example, to understand the principles. So you are thinking already ahead, like I do in strategic approach. So you save time and you make the right decisions, creative strategic decisions through the process. And again, if I would not be coding, like Karpatos, for example, that's why Karpato's Dream is presenting all responsiveness, because I'm not coding that one. So I want to make sure that developer will have all references and we will achieve that professional look and feel for my clients. That's also, so you need to be responsive to the situation from all angles. That's what I wanted also to add here. So we're done with the design here. Let's go to the coding. Here it is. So, and you see, I will be here also. There's the arrow indicating that we're in a Webflow. I will be showing you responsiveness at the end, but first let's go to the URL. So here we are. This is the version from my site that made in Webflow indicates that. And you can see that, okay, this is the responsiveness, all is functional, our methods. So we'll go for the whole thing. You can explore the methods that you can choose to as a product, so you can learn more. We'll go in one of them. We'll go in the colorful one. And then we talk about some pain. Some video should be here. You can, most of CTA takes them to the quiz or sign in, mainly quiz. Testimonials will be here to prove the trust. then free steps, how easy it is actually to do, and just start the quiz, and they say how it works, why Catalyzed, what's the value there, what are you going to get out of there, free key indicators that they always had with their brand, and that's it kind of thing. They can subscribe if they want to, basic things. So we have social media on 2025 actually, yeah, terms and conditions, so 1 year or 2 years ago, and privacy policy. So we can go, our methods will take them to the same look and feel where they can collect. Here will be like featured methods, right? Once they evolve, they will have only free products here. But if they want to check all other methods, eventually when they'll bring new options, they all will stack here. So that's why it's important also to separate them. We will go into one of them. Let's go actually to communication style. So here you go. You can see enroll now. You can see cross price, and that's the price. Learn more. I want to learn more before I go to the price. If you click the price, I think it will take them to quiz, or we'll see. Actually, I think maybe it will take, I'm curious. Let's see. Communicate. Okay. Are you sure you want to enroll? Okay. You can, yeah. Yes, quiz to find best solutions for you. That's really interesting. That's one of the steps that I did for user experience. So you can enroll now for this one, but it actually says, hey, maybe you want to take a test to find out which one is best product for you. That's really clever for me. So you can enroll now. If I do that, here you go. Choose your method to catalyze, 7 days money back guaranteed, standard SMS per week, or breakthrough SMS every other day. So this is what they can choose. You can see when they choose the breakthrough, it has indicator of icon, and the difference is the pricing only, and it just will be deeper involvement. So you can learn more. Again, go back to learn more, and it will open another version, so to say, another tab on your browser. We can buy now. So that's where we're going to take them all. I'm curious, let's go and buy it. Okay, yeah, this is where we stop, right? It should take them to the purchase on Stripe. This is where we stop with automation with my client to continue further on hold. So this is where we stop. So eventually we're taking them to purchase the product. And there you go. So you can enroll, you can take, we'll be going with you for the test quiz, but I don't want yet. So I think it's really good flow if you think about it, but let's run through. I will come back to this user experience flow, so to say, funneling and CTA. So here will be the content. They have to work on content more. So this is on hold, but it should speak to generally kind of describing the process. You can see this interesting. This is always talking to the pain points and what's the trouble. Catalyze now. Who's this method for? How it helped others. So this is testimonials, what you will learn, so to say, the main key points. Some video specifically for this one or for the all. I don't remember what is included. Okay, some key points again, call to action. How it works, right? And again, those 4 steps start now. And free value. This is something I want to give, free on-demand webinar. Really interesting to give some. If they're not convinced, I want them to go for the free value over the funnel and see more to convince them to purchase. I think that's really good key. And understand the 4. And here is educational. Give some value about understanding about communication relationships. So this is really beautiful. We come to this point. This is who not convinced. So the beautiful of all this process is, first of all, they want to know. If they're convinced, they can learn more, or they can just enroll. If they actually choosing this one, they can go and actually make a test to make sure if this is right for them, and they can enroll now and purchase if they're ready. The point is also here they will learn a little bit more about what they need to know. Generally, generic information about the course. Here is the pain point and the problem that they can relate with. Here is who's this for to relate with more audience, and they will understand, okay, this is for me, for sure. Oh, this testimonials. People say good stuff about that. Oh, okay, I will learn this and this and this by the end of the course. Here's some kind of more video about perhaps the whole thing or about them, about this course, perhaps specifically with the video format. What's included, also what's to expect to include, and how it works, the steps for the whole program, and then free simple things. It's just start now. What's going to happen if I'll start now? You'll take the quiz, yes. And then if they're not yet convinced and they maybe not ready, maybe not sure, whatever, you give them free value so they can learn more. Like, oh, that's really interesting. I want to take it. And then you get to educate them a little bit more. And then you make the final CTA, again, enroll. Share it, also a good idea. You can share it if you want to. Oh, interesting, I built it. So you can share with these different ways. Also really clever to allow people to share, because you can share with your couple, you can share with another couple that you think will benefit from this, or for yourself even. Really clever. So I like what I did here with the flow. Again, everything can be much more improved. But again, it's a question how much commitment is required from me. So the whole thing is start the quiz or enroll now for the price. And with the price, of course, they will be asked if they want to take the test. So the point is, okay, we can always go back to choose the courses. We can learn about each. Really interesting, actually. You now, as I walk you through, it feels like we're familiar. Like I'm familiar with every course if the content is in the right place, testimonials in the right place, the whole process is automated. It's interesting. Okay, I know already. So yeah, we'll learn everything about the whole thing also. So what is interesting next is about us. I want to learn a little bit who's behind this. It's always important to learn, always important to show your face and show people. So here, really beautiful background of American land and why we are here. Again, lorem ipsum is something copy to work. As I mentioned, they need to focus on that. Again, photo that I show that the photos, a reference they should follow. Important to see well professional, reliable imagery and professional and trustworthy look and feel consistently with the branding, positioning, who you want to trust. Like, yeah, I want to follow these people. It seems like they look like happy couple and they know what they're talking about. So I want to take some courses from them. The mission, some video that where they can speak, both of them. Really, this is a content to build. We believe, saying that it is important for them to think what their beliefs and what their values. These important things because it demonstrates that you are serious, that you know what you stand for, and what is indicating to indicate that you are having foundation beneath your feet, that you have experience behind your background, and you actually refined and rich in understanding what you're standing for. And so people can be relatable with your beliefs and values. And yeah, I like these people. That's really cool. I like what they stand for. I like how they position, what's the mission, why they exist. A little bit seeing how they look like in conversation, expressing their perspective. This is the point and last word. So that's the whole thing. I think like, well, okay, I will be familiar with them. I like what they stand for. Okay, I learn everything about the course. I'm ready to take the quiz, right? Or if I have an account, I can sign in. I can sign in and go to the member stack. And again, with member stack, it will be the same. Look and feel on brand, everything is beautiful. So I can go and check my products if I already purchased that. If I got password, I can, okay, let me check it back to sign in. Let me sign up. I don't really have an account. I can sign up with a Google. I can sign up in different ways. So that's how I can enter to my member stack. But if I'm not, I want to purchase. Right. So, but before purchase, I want to take a quiz. For example, okay, I can catalyze now. That will take me for the quiz. But let's say I want to take this. This really resonates. But I'm like, okay, yeah, let me take a test. Maybe I'm not sure. Maybe indeed there's something more to explore. I think the best for me is to take the test. So we come to the test, to the quiz. It's idea to help us to better know, for them also to understand what to choose. So it will take them like 5 or 10 minutes. So you can start the quiz. When you start a quiz, it will indicate 1 to 12. There's a percentage. So you can do it on your own or quiz together. So when you do it on your own, there'll be one set. Let's go quiz together. So when you go quiz together, so it's like person A, person B, and you will be answering the questions. So strongly agree or strongly disagree, for example, right? Understand and note. So I'll be just quickly taking us through the whole thing to the end to show what's going to happen. So we can see what happens once we arrive to the end. And you can use third parties for these things. Again, it's just extra expenses for clients, but you can build these things like that. So there's also process for automation. So and I will be using actually this third party to do this. So the point is it have to be connected. So once they choose, it must give the right recommendation. So you can see, for example, it gives you, okay, the perfect method for your relationship is love language. And it's see all methods again back or buy now, the one that is recommended. And there are different versions, I think. Let me see. I can click this. If I click this, it will show me. I just did this shortcuts to show you different versions. This is when your relationship seems to be perfect. This is when you all answers really well. So you're catalyzed. But if you want, see all methods and choose anything you want, right? Let me see what else we can click. Yeah, this is when your relationship is at turning point. This is when you can take anything. Start your recovery now. You can choose any course. It will work for you, and you can learn. You can see you can learn about each if you want to, and it will open the new tab for you to explore. So you will not lose your track. So okay, this is one. We know it. So there you go. So this is when one recommended. This is when everything is good, and this is when everything is not good. And I'm predicting the whole thing. So then they can just again buy, as we know already. Let me see if I can go there. Restart quiz. Okay, good. Let me go home. Let me go to courses. Let's go here, learn more and purchase. So eventually they get into the role and they will choose what they want based on the quiz or not. And they will buy it. And they'll go to the Stripe, to the purchase, and that will take them to the member stack and so on. So that's it. That's all I wanted to present. Also, before I go, I need to also show you maybe a little bit of responsiveness. I do like to show this. You'll see that everything is responding in accordance. And you can see the menu appears like this on the phone. And yeah, and this scrollable. So everything is thought well to stack or to scroll. I like to scroll, and I don't want to overwhelm sometimes too much space to discourage user to read. Some things must be forced to read, and some of them not. So, you have to be clever about it. That's it. That's all I wanted to present to you guys. I hope this was insightful, from branding to different types of phases. And the fourth phase should come to automate the whole thing and to continue with the copy integration. But again, things sometimes happen to be on hold, and I respect that. And yeah, that's it. Thank you. Thank you guys for your attention. This was Alui Merch with you. I'll continue further addressing and presenting more. Looking forward to present to you more products like applications and digital like SaaS, but I'll get there gradually. Take care, guys. Thank you for your attention. Have a good day.